halls of 4 Seasons lost. In Austin, I saw pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, moments reflected. Often mirrors a pit, clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving that rain in the grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Manic Crazy Mondays it is. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, barely here, functioning. Got that sinus infection there, guys. If you've ever had it, you know what I mean. It's just in your chest. It makes it feel like you have a 500-pound gorilla sitting on it. But we are going to do the show as much as we can and then get Drew on, get much of it done today, and then I'm going to go. I can't go to the doctor till tomorrow, unfortunately for me. But anyway, so we're going to get that done. We're going to get as much of the show done. I don't know if we are going to do After the Storm tonight, our Thunder post-game analysis show. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that because, A, I just don't feel good, and B, I'm going to probably go to bed after I work with my kids tonight, or this afternoon. So, no, I do not have COVID or anything like that. So, I've got my shots and all that good stuff. And I have to be ready for tomorrow, which is voting day. And I hope everybody goes out to vote, which I'm sure you guys will do that. But anyway, I want to start off with some fantastic news. I am so excited that for Dusty Baker finally getting over the hump and winning his first World Series title as a manager. He should have won a couple by now, but, sports is sports, and it is not that easy to do to win a chip, or everybody would do it. So anyway, congratulations to Dusty and the Houston Astros for their championship that they've won. I'm sure the city of Houston is going crazy. My grandson little G is probably ecstatic about it, about the Phillies about the Astros winning. The Phillies, they just ran out of gas. They went through the gauntlet, but their bats got cold, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Astros pitching, they had literally 7 probably starters in their rotation that they could use, and they were just absolutely dominant. And like we said, glad Verlander finally got a W, because if anybody deserved a win, it was Justin Verlander and him getting over the hump and getting a W. So anyway, congratulations to the 2022 World Series champions, the Houston Astros. Like we said, 4-1 victory over the Phillies. I believe it was Friday night or Saturday night. I don't remember which day it was now, but what a game it was. So in NBA news, which is where I was hoping to get Drew on for this, but he can come back in and we'll get his opinion when he comes on. The Nets, as we talked about last Friday, suspended Kyrie for a minimum of 5 games in order for him to come back. Here's a list of the 6 requirements for him to rejoin the team. Now, I saw a thing where there are some NBA general managers who don't know if Kyrie will play again in the NBA, which I think it's crazy. But at the same time, you can't say what you say about people. That's just one of those things that you can't do. Uh, you can't talk about people. It's just you just can't do it. You got to be careful and understand what you're doing. So anyway, the six requirements that he has is that he has to apologize uh, and condemn the film, which I'm not sure if Kyrie is going to do that. He might, but knowing Kyrie, he's in defensive mode, but he's got to realize his future, his career, and his ability to make money, a significant amount of money is on the list. So he has to apologize, which he already has, and condemn the film, which he has not. He has to make $500,000 donation to anti-hate causes, which of course remember he tried to do a $500,000 donation to the Anti Defamation League, and they said no because he did not apologize. And then of course after he got suspended, then all of a sudden he apologized. So I'm not sure how uh, sincere it was, but like I said, I'm not him and I don't know him, so I'm not sure exactly what that was. He needs a complete sensitivity training. He needs a complete anti-Semitism training. And my thing is, most guys who have to go do stuff like this, if they aren't already contrite, uh, this is not going to help them become contrite. They're not gonna change who they are, or change their stripes. So I don't know how much this is actually going to make a difference with Kyrie, but we shall see. Meet with the ADL, which is the Anti Defamation League, and Jewish leaders. Now that to me will be the biggest thing for him because he actually gets to talk to these people and he will actually get some upfront knowledge instead of that nonsense that he's been spewing uh, about that. And I mean, to me, it's that you can't get your crap off the internet. Go search, go read some books. I mean, you can off the internet. Don't get me wrong, but when you start listening to people, go get the information yourself. There's plenty of articles. There's plenty of footage. There's plenty of archives. There's a lot of stuff before you uh, put out there and say something's not true. Why don't you go research it? Don't listen to Joe Rogan or whoever these people are. Don't listen to those people. Go do it yourself. Learn about it yourself. I had a pastor once that told me, he told our congregation, and he said, listen, my job as your pastor is to give you information. Okay? And that's what he said. His job as our pastor is to provide information about the Bible, give his opinion. But it is your job to go out and research it yourself. It is your job to figure out how much of that you want to believe, you want to absorb, you want to take into yourself, because at the end of the day, it's going to be you and the big fella. And you can't go, oh, well, my pastor said, or oh, my friend said, or oh, blah, blah, blah said. He wants to know, what did you believe? What did you do? So to me, go out and find the information out yourself. And I don't know if Kyrie is really willing to do that as far as condemn the paper, because he probably will do it. Now, how much he probably believes that, who knows? But of all the things that they're asking, to me, meet with the ADL and Jewish leaders so he can be informed before he just runs his mouth and gets something off the internet. And he has, of course, meet with the team owner, Josiah, to demonstrate an understanding of the situation. Because I believe that they tried to get Kyrie to do that. He came out the interview. He got doubled down on the way he felt. And he didn't do what they wanted him to do. That's why they restricted him from from doing any more media. And then they finally said, you know what, you don't get it, so let's hit you in your pocket. Maybe you'll get it then. And maybe he will, maybe he won't. NBA president, Players Association president C.J. McCollum hopes all the NBA players will learn from Kyrie. To me, I'm a black man, so I understand hate. I understand. Uh, I understand what it's like for someone to judge you based on the color of your skin. I can't tell you how many DWBs that I've had in my life that is driving while black. I've gotten pulled over for doing 26 and a 25. I got pulled over for driving in the passing lane, which is the left-hand lane, for driving too close to the car in front of me in 5 o'clock traffic on the highway. And I'm one of 6 cars, and he picked my car out. His partner had his hand on his gun in the back. So I understand what racism is. I understand what hate is. I understand what bias is. And Kyrie should too, because he's black. So you, as a person who has been uh, condemned or beat up, the last thing you should do ever is do the same thing to another race. It's the last thing you should ever do because you understand what these people go through. But once again, Kyrie has his own thoughts and own processes about what he thinks things should be. And hopefully, this is a huge lesson to him and other players out there. And, I've even had some people come up and try to defend Kyrie or heard people try to defend Kyrie, other celebrities or whatever. And I'm like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Oh, they weren't fair to him. Well, why weren't they fair? He came out and he brutalized, he dismissed a whole thing of a race of people without ever checking the facts and just saying, oh, well, this guy said this, so I believe in him. Or he takes part of a movie who was taken about black people and the struggles that we've gone through as a race, and then you turn around and you don't watch the whole thing and realize, well, they're even twice as worse to the Jews. I don't get that, but hopefully he will. So I don't know how many of these things he will do. He's already apologized. Whether he's going to continue to condemn the film, we shall see. To me, completing sensitivity training and anti-Semitism training. I don't believe he's an anti-Semite. I don't believe he's against Jews. I don't believe he does. So to me, that's just a complete waste. But meeting with the Anti-Defamation League and Jewish leaders, I think, would be fantastic for him to really understand what his actions really meant and what they detailed. If he can get that, to me, that would be the best thing for him. And if he does that. Now, the question is, will he or won't he? And then, of course, uh, Pascal Siakam will miss at least 2 weeks. Uh, will miss at least to Randy Wright, the Commander Wright. He's so crazy. Pascal Siakam will miss 2 weeks with the leg strain, which is going to really hurt the Toronto Raptors and what they are planning to do. And remember, tonight, excuse me, man, I need some meds. I need to go to the doctor. I don't know why I got to wait. I should just go to one of those clinics and just go in there and get my stuff done. But anyway, tonight, the Thunder are playing tonight against the Detroit Pistons, which ought to be interesting. I'm excited, like I said, about our team. We've lost 2 straight, and we do play the Pistons tonight, 7 p.m. on Bali. The Pistons minus 1.5, so the Thunder are plus 1.5, 1.5 point or denials. The Pistons are one. I'm sorry, the Pistons are just a minus 1.5 favorites. Over and under is 226.5, and of course, based on our boy Drew Hinthorn of HuskerDrewPicks.com, that is, you can't spell Thunder without taking the under. So I'm sure he will take that tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna do because when you look at it, both teams are young. Both teams got a lot of talent, but both teams are young, so we don't know which teams are going to come out and which teams are going to do what. So that ought to be interesting to see. And, of course, the Thunder are averaging 110 points a game. We're shooting 44% from the field, a dismal 29.2. And, of course, Lou Dort continues to shoot, and he is the worst three-point shooting percentage in the league, and he continues to think that he is a three-point shooter. I don't know why they don't do the same thing to him that they did to Trey Mann, get his attention and do that. But, of course, he is our best defensive player, so we have to have him. So I guess there's a give and take there. But still, just let him know, quit shooting the basketball. Dude, you can't shoot 3, stop. Assists 23.9, turnovers 11.5. And I will say this about tonight's game. I am excited about it because our guy Cade Cunningham, of course, from OSU, will be playing tonight. So I want to watch, but I don't know if I'm going to be up to seeing doing the show tonight. The struggle bus is real for me right now. I don't know how well I'm going to feel, but if I do feel good, I will do the show. If not, I will wait and probably either do it tomorrow morning and then do the because I'll watch it, but I don't know how much I'm going to feel into doing the show. So we'll see what's going to happen there. But uh, I'm excited to watch the game tonight. The Thunder, we are young, and we went on a 4-game winning streak, and now we've lost two. And both games are simple. We just gave away too many open looks. You can't give away that many open looks. I mean, you really can't. And my keys to the game tonight are simple for the Thunder to be able to stay in. We have to limit open looks. We've gotten killed the last two games with just giving open look after open look after open look. I'm like, somebody please guard somebody. Let's move on defense. Let's hustle. Let's fly all over the place because we're young and we're not that talented. So the best thing we can do is fly all over the place. Do not settle for threes. And these are two things that I can see that I'm going to leave on left for every Thunder game. Limit open looks and don't settle for threes until we start doing the thing. Now, we have stopped settling for as many threes, but it's something that I want us to do is knock down more mid-range and get off to a quick start. We got off to a great start against, oh man, who did we just play? I'm sorry, my mind just went blank. But anyway, we got off to a quick start, but then we only scored 19 points. But we gave up 42 points to them to Denver, the Nuggets. This is who we played. We kind of got off to a quick start, but then all of a sudden, we just couldn't guard anybody. I mean, they were just three after three after three after three after three after three after three. And then we have to get some easy baskets off of our defense. And I think if we can do that, if we can get some easy baskets off of our defense to settle us down, SGA needs to start out, come out, just getting some baskets so everybody can relax and don't feel like they have to play and do more. Because the thing is, every time the Thunder start trying to do things they're not capable of, players are trying to score because we haven't scored. Oh, we're down. Let's get stop it. You're not capable. SGA at that point needs to take over, or Josh, and get us some easy buckets. But like I said, it needs to be SGA first, then Josh, then everybody else. I don't think Dort is the third guy to come in there. I hope that Trey Mann gets things figured out. It looks like that he's kind of gone down. We have the J-Dub. J-Dub's playing really, really well, the rookie from Santa Clara, so I like what he's doing. So that being said, I'm looking forward to the game tonight. Like I said, the Thunder is plus 1.5, and 226.5 is the over under. And I believe Drew, I think he took the Pistons. I have to go back and look at who he took, but I'm pretty sure he probably took the Pistons and the 1.5. And I'm a Thunder fan, and I would probably do the same. But I don't know if I'm going to go opposite of him and break it down and throw in there as far as the over-under. Can't spell Thunder without under. We are averaging 110 a game, but I don't know who's all going to play, what's going to happen. I know that Detroit, being young, they're like us. They could be really hot just like we can, or they're going to be really cold and shoot a bunch of bricks. I mean, that's what you get with a young team. It's the ebb and flow of that. So, but we do have a bunch of picks, and if it gets to the point where we are winning some games, we can come back. But the question is, do we want to win a bunch of games, or do we want to have one more shot at the lottery? So we shall see how Sam Presti plays it and what he decides to do with that. So that being said, we're going to take a quick break and give our sponsors some love. Talking about Collaborative Logic. If you have any IT needs as far as computers, you want some software written for your company that can help you streamline your business through emails and office interaction in our office, Zoom and all that stuff. They're perfect for that. They're working with me now to get our stuff done. SRB and my guy Mark Long over there. If you want any engineering, surveying, or planning, they are great people behind the scenes. Jose Fierro and Oak Grove Trucking. If you want some rocks and dirt moved, he is your guy. Then Greg and Max Nafee at Nafco. And last but not least, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912, the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC. And if you want to pre qualify online for any loans, houses, boats, cars, businesses, land, commercial property, whatever, they are the people that you'd want to do that. That's www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com to pre qualify for some loans online. Or you can go in and see Nathan and Joe and Carson in the bank if that's what you choose to do. They'd be happy to see you if you want to swing through there. So just whatever you want to do, they are ready for you. So now it's going to be a crazy day because it's Big Monday, and so it's starting off. And I know that. Let me see. What was I watching earlier? I mean, Baylor was just killing. I mean, Baker. They beat. Wow. Baylor ended up the number 5 ranked team in the country. Ended up beating Mississippi Valley State 117 to 53. 117 to 53. I mean, that's just murdering a team. And the Baylor is really, really good. They're ranked 5th in the country. So you can see why that is. And in fact, let's just go ahead and talk about a little hoops since we're right here. And I finally put in the AP basketball rankings. And of course, I do have on North Carolina Blue. That's why I was hoping Drew was going to be on. But look, he's playing golf with our guy Mike McBride. And the fact if you're needing some attorney work, he's a good guy to call for that. So anyway, North Carolina 1, Gonzaga 2. Every year people just love Gonzaga. And I'm like, Gonzaga's great. They play nobody. And then when they do play anybody, they get their brains beat out. And the problem with Gonzaga is, like I tell everybody all year long, they get to the playoffs, they got to beat 6 teams. Can't do it. They just can't because they don't play good enough competition all the way through. Now, that's not their fault. They play who's in front of them. So that's the problem with not playing in a very good conference. You can go out and you can dominate it all you want to, but when it comes down to it, yeah, no. Number 3, Houston. Tell you what, Kelvin's got them playing. Houston doing great, ranked number 3 in the country. Kelvin Sampson, of course, former University of Oklahoma basketball coach, has got Houston flying. He's got all that talent down in Texas and in Houston. Why wouldn't they not be up there rolling? Number 4, Kentucky, Coach Cal, of course, has his Kentucky Wildcats doing their thing and doing what they do. And, of course, we'll go more in detail tomorrow and Wednesday about this top 25 rankings. We're just going to kind of go over it for now. Baylor ranked number 5. I just told you they just killed Mississippi Valley State by 60. And then of Kansas and our boy Bill Self. They're both tied for number 5th ranking. Our boy Bill's got some issues, but he's going to work through it because that's my guy. And hopefully we're going to be able to get Bill on this year for some weekly talks, or if not bi-weekly, but we're trying to get that in the process or in the plans now. Duke ranked number 7, UCLA number 8, Creighton number 9, and of course our guy Stevie Alexander is there. Trey Alexander's there at Creighton. He did really well last year, so hopefully he'll be able to. His sophomore campaign will be better for him. Arkansas ranked 10th. Tennessee 11th, 12th, those Texas Longhorns. We shall see what they can do with the new coach and how well they're going to respond. But, hey, you're in Texas. You got all those players down there. You should be able to do something because Kelvin Sampson for sure is snagging players, so there's no reason why the University of Texas should not be able to do as well. 13, Indiana. The Hoosiers are who they are. It's Indiana. The cradle of basketball is what they say. I don't know about all that, but, whatever. It's what they say. 14, another Big 12 school, TCU. So right there in the Big 12, you have 4 teams in the Big 12 ranked in the top 15. So congratulations to TCU snatching in there, and they're ranked 4th overall in football. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit as well, talking about college this weekend and what all happened. Some major upsets. 15, Auburn. 16, Villanova. 17, Arizona, which they just keep. I mean, they're just a juggernaut. They just keep re-going ever since. Uh, God, I've been When was Lou there? I guess in the '80s, since the '90s, they've been rolling. All of the 2000s, they've been rolling. So Arizona, the Wildcats, continue to be ranked and continue to be viable program. The Cavaliers of Virginia come in at number 18. Like I said, we'll go into detail about all this a little bit later, but they're doing what they do. They're Virginia. San Diego State slid in there at number 19. Man, I tell you what, that was an interesting deal when I saw that. I'm like, San Diego State. Okay, we shall see how that worked. And I believe Kawhi went to San Diego State, who does not play at all anymore. Bama ranked at 20th, Oregon 21st, Michigan, of course, there they are. Michigan ranked in there number 22, and so we'll see how well they do. They lost quite a few players to the league last year, so we'll see if Juwan can rebound back and build up another program. And Michigan State is someone that it's interesting that they're not there. I think that's kind of crazy that Michigan State is not in the top 25. Illinois at 23, Dayton at 24, and of course those Red Raiders becoming the fifth Big 12 team that is ranked in the top 25. And of course, you did not see my Oklahoma State Cowboys or the Sooners ranked as of yet, but it is early, so we shall see what is going to transpire as the season goes on and who's going to do what. So, it is early, and we're going to see because nobody expected TCU to be ranked fourth in the country at the beginning of the year. They weren't even ranked. So, that's how things work. You just got to take it little by little and see what happens. Now, in NFL news, oh man, my thing didn't even pop up. Wow, this was old. I don't know why my NFL deal did not pop up. I don't really like how that happened. That does not work very well for me. Let me throw that up here real quick. Let me find the NFL news because I just did this, and it will take me 2 seconds. And that's the one thing about the beauty of this. Man, you do that, and it just goes boom, and you save it like that, and you do NFL news, and it pops up, and there you go. Bam, and bam, and bam, and that should fix that. Yep, let me see. There you go. Just like that. Hey, how about Matt on the quickness with things? So the coach fired Frank Reich today. He was 3-5-1. I think he was 44-33 overall. And then they hired Jeff Saturday, who was the center for Peyton Manning for many, many years there. And he has been a consultant with the team, but he is the first coach in the history of the NFL to be hired with get that, zero experience coaching college or pros. Now, I'm not sure if that means that they don't really care about whether they're going to win any more games. The players are familiar with Jeff, and Jeff, of course, was an analyst on ESPN, and he was consulting with the team. So Ursay really likes him a lot, but I'm not sure if you have a professional team and you hire a guy who was an analyst, who was a former player, and who was really, really good at what he did, and is a very good analyst. But I don't know if you can hire a guy with no experience and expect him to change your team around unless that's not what you're trying to do. And the question is, I'm sure they probably paid him, pretty good money, but, to hire just a coach that's going to come in for a year, that probably would not have been attractive to a lot of NFL guys. And I don't know why he just didn't do what all the rest of the owners do. You fire a coach and you hire whoever's already in the building, your assistant coach, whether it's defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, running back coach, or whatever, to take over. The Giants safety breaks his hand in an. Oh, I didn't even put his name down. I can't believe he did that. I mean, you're an ATV, bro. What you doing? What are you doing? How do you do something that stupid? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you should know better than that. But that's what these guys do. They get up there and nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be fine. I'm not going to break my hand. I'm not going to do anything stupid. I'm not going to do anything dumb. And then what happens? You end up breaking your hand. And that's Xavier McKinney is who did that. Xavier McKinney broke his hand in an ATV accident during the bye week. And what did the coaches say? Hey, be safe, be careful, don't do anything reckless, don't be dumb, take care of yourself. And of course, he's probably chasing his friends around in an ATV, rolled over and broke his hand. Sure, the coach was really, really happy to know about that. Tyreek Hill, former Oklahoma State all-purpose everything guy, is on pace to beat, not break. And everybody goes, he's going to break Calvin Johnson's NFL record of 1,964. No, he's going to beat it. And I've said this many times. There's a difference between beating a record and breaking a record. When you beat a record means that you beat the record, whatever is points, home runs, whatever, you beat the record. When you break a record, it means you did it in less time than they did to set it. There's a huge difference. I wish all these smart journalists who know sports so well would get that. But of course, they didn't play, so how the hell would they know? Anyway, Calvin Johnson's record of 1,964 yards that he set in 2012 in 16 games. And of course, he's on pace, Tyreek, for 2,085 and 17. Now, they did do, if he had 16 games, if they take away that last game, he's going to be a yard short to 2 yards short if they did it in 16 games. So he would be short. So, it's just people always talking about breaking records. It's like, stop. They're beating records. They're not breaking it. Be informed. Inform people on the difference. And that's a nugget for y'all. There's a difference between beating a record and breaking a record. You beat the record. You did not break the record. Jim Brown's record of 12,000 yards never be broken. People will beat it. Clearly they have. 7 or 8 people have beat his record, have ran for more yards than him, but not in the same amount of time he did. So nobody's actually broke his record. Emmitt Smith is the leading rusher, but everybody knows that Barry Sanders wanted it. He would have it. He didn't want it because he never cared about record. You never forget when he could went back in the game and beat Christian Okoye for the NFL rushing title. He's like, no, let him have it. If that was Emmitt, I can promise you, Emmitt would not have done that. No, let me get that record, because he wouldn't have kept playing for as long as he did, which he was not productive at all, really, for him to do that. So let's get into the NFL scores. This weekend, the Eagles beat the Texans to improve to 8-0. They're on fire right now. They're talking about Jalen Hurts being the MVP. He is not the best player. Well, I guess he's playing really good for this year, but Patrick Mahomes to me is the best player in the NFL, because Jalen Hurts couldn't have did what Patrick Mahomes did yesterday. So how the hell can he be the MVP? I don't know. But Jalen's got to thank Lincoln Riley and the University of Oklahoma for allowing him to come there and be able to get something, be able to transfer from Alabama. Colts lost to the Patriots, which is why Frank Reich got fired. But it's only because the owner, Jim Irsay, dude, you got rid of Carson because of one game he had. He had one bad game. What did he have last year? 37 picks and 37 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, something stupid like that. And then what is the problem with your team this year? Quarterback. And Jonathan Taylor did get hurt, but your issue, quarterback. Packers lost to the Lions 15-9. Boy, they look bad. I mean, and Aaron Rodgers got what he wanted. He took the $50 million, and he's paying for it. And he's mad because they didn't hire anybody and all this stuff, but or didn't draft people. It's like, look, they're fulfilling other needs. They're looking past where he is today. I think they're really done with Aaron. If they could get rid of him, they would. But how do you get rid of one of the top 5-10 quarterbacks of all time? That is just not something that can happen. So anyway, Falcons up 2017 over the Falcons. The Chargers, of course, got by. That's an interesting game. I did not watch it because I just didn't care to see that the Chargers did prevail and beat the Falcons. The Bills, I did watch the Bills and the Jets yesterday, and man, I tell you what, Josh Allen, he's been terrible the last two games, but they squeaked by last week, did not squeak by yesterday, but I'm not worried about the Bills. They will get it right, get the ship written or straightened out, and be fine. Vikings over the Commanders. I talked to Drew, told him that there's no way that the Vikings, that the Commanders were going to beat the Vikings. I've liked the Vikings. I've been on them all year. At the beginning, he thought I was crazy, but I've been on them the whole time for them to do what they needed to do. Panthers, Bengals. The Bengals, man, Joe Mixon 5 TDs yesterday. He was just unbelievable, unbelievable. Boy, what a running back he was. Everybody got to see that when he was here at the University of Oklahoma. Raiders, once again, their third 17-point lead squandered. 27-20. I just don't know if Josh McDaniels the guy. He wasn't the guy before. Got another job. Maybe he's just an OC. I just I just don't know. Like I said, I didn't know the two worst hires were him and Hackett, but we shall see if the ship can be written, it can be changed around there in Las Vegas. Dolphins, 35-32. Tyreek, once again, was ridiculous. Tua playing really, really well against the Bears. And I tell you what, since they've opened up uh, Justin Fields, he has just made the huge difference. And I don't know why they didn't do that in the beginning and let him play the way he can play, running the ball, read options, throwing on the move. Chase Claypool is going to be a huge advantage. I think that gave him some confidence knowing that he does have somebody. But nice win by the Dolphins, beating the Bears 35-32. Seahawks, Geno's Pizza is open. That's what Drew and Ben keep telling me. I think Geno's Pizza is closed, but he is doing really, really well there. The system is fitting him perfectly to do what they need to do. The question is he your long term answer or no? That's something that they have to figure out. But if the players like him and they're behind him, that's something that you have to consider as a coach if you want to get rid of him, which I don't think they will because of that simple fact. Rams, Buccaneers, that game was terrible. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible afternoon game. Horrible afternoon game. It was really bad. But the Rams, first of all, Cooper Cup, you're sliding. Why would you not cut back in the middle? Keep the drive alive, possibly get the first down. You're running to the sidelines and you slide to keep the clock running. Yeah, that's great. But why would you not cut up through the middle and try to get some more yards? Burner, they hold you up a little bit more. They can't stop the clock. You could burn some more seconds, but he did not do it. And then defensively, they let the Bucks catch the ball on the sideline. Why are you letting them catch the ball on the sidelines? All you need to do is tackle them twice inside. Then they could do. But instead, you played to lose, not to lose, instead of to win. And that's what happens every time you play to lose or not to lose instead of playing to win. That's exactly what happens to you. Titans and the Chiefs. I tell you what. Patrick Mahomes and Chiefs go 7 straight drives without scoring a touchdown. Was crazy, but he was running for his life. That Titans front four, front seven, I mean, they are animals. But the Chiefs let Derrick Henry go off in the beginning, but they only held him to 1 first down the second half. 15 yards of total offense the second half. Chiefs defense stopped the run. That's what they've wanted to do is say, we're going to stop you from running the ball. We're going to give Patrick Mahomes and the offense more chances to make plays and score points, but we're not going to let you run the football. And that's exactly what they did. And, they said that maybe it was a little bit of rust coming off that first bye week. They were missing tackles in the first half, and they were just that 1 week. And then they took them a half for the defense to settle up. And supposedly the weakest part of the team was the best. And then at the end of the fourth quarter, Mahomes just does what Mahomes does, takes the game over, runs for 25, whatever, on a 3rd and 17. And then on 3rd and 9, he runs for 14 for a touchdown, makes a great move at the end, and then scores and, of course, does the 2-point conversion and then goes down the field. Uh, he threw 68 times, which is insane. And they were like, run the ball more. Well, what they forget is a lot of their passes are runs, little dumps where the guy's 4 or 5 yards. So a lot of their passes are in place of running plays simply because if they're being dominated up front, why are you just going to keep being third and long, second and 10, third and 10. Why would you continue to do that? Makes zero sense. Instead of I'm second and 4, or I'm second and 5, I'm third and 2, I'm third and 3, I'm third and 4. That's what the Chiefs want to be in those positions, even though they have the highest rate as far as greeting first downs. When third and long, they lead the NFL in getting first downs. And the fact that they had 19 first downs to 9, and the fact that they still barely won in overtime is crazy. But those are the games that you have to win. When everything is going terrible for you and you still come up and win. Remember, they lost to the Colts early in the year in the same type deal. Special teams was killing them. Butker missed an extra point and a field goal, or the overtime would have been mute. But he's got to get on his deal. He's been missing extra points a lot over the last few years. I don't know what the deal is with that, but he's always missing them to the right. I guess the way he kicks it, if the longer the kick is, if he doesn't kick it closer to that left bar so it comes through, then it goes right on his longer field goals every time. He's a professional kicker, one of the best. I don't know if I'd take anybody except Justin Tucker over him on a consistent basis uh, to have in that spot. But anyway, I would pretty much take Harrison Butker because I really like him a whole lot. So now in hockey last night, uh, in our hockey deals last night, there was only 3 games. The Maple Leafs 3 over the Hurricanes 1, 3-1, and of course in OT the Red Wings over the Rangers 3-2. And I love shootouts. I don't know what it is about that. I just love them. I think Ben sent me a video of a guy last night and the other day, and he's just the way he did it. He's just kind of lackadaisical and just whoop, flip, over. It was incredible. And then of course the Panthers beat the Mighty Ducks 5-3. And none of our teams played last night. Ben's Bruins, nor my Stars, nor Drew's St. Louis Blues. None of them played last night. So that was the gist of what happened in that. And man, now I want to thank again our sponsors, Collaborative Logic. If you have any IT needs, they can come in and do anything you need as far as setting your company up. If you start a new company, they can write software for you. They can do websites. They can do everything as well as setting the right computers up, giving it the right system, knowing whether you need two monitors or just one. They are the people that you need to holler at to talk to my guy Russell Williford over there. SRB, if you have any engineering, surveying, or planning, my guy Mark Long is perfect for that. They love being behind the scenes, making sure everything looks fantastic, and they are the people that will set it up to make sure you are doing what you need. Oak Grove Trucking and my guy Jose Fierro, if you have any needs as far as rocks or dirt moved, they are the people that you need to talk to. My guy Jose over there and Adrian. Greg and Max Nafee at Nafco. And last but not least, Y&B, family owned and operated since 1912. The bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, member of the FDIC. Love what they're doing. If you have any needs for loans, whether it's cars, boats, houses, property, whatever, you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. And we want to thank them for their sponsorship, which allows us to go out and do remote live streams at minority and women-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. So we appreciate them, and in fact, we're going to be doing more of that. I believe we're going to. One of my guys one of my friends is insurance agency. I think it's this week or maybe it's next week. I got to talk to Chuck about that, and I'll see him Wednesday night at the Thunder game, and we will talk about that and what day I'm going to actually go there. So, but anyway, we want to appreciate Y&B for their sponsorship for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the Oklahoma City area. So we appreciate them and wish more people would help us out and do stuff like that. But we are growing, and we remember we should have next week praying, fingers crossed, if everything goes well, you guys will be able to call into the show and be able to actually, I'll be able to pull you up and talk to you on the show. You can ask questions about anything that you want to ask questions about, and then we will be going out to different high schools, talking to the coaches and stuff like that. And in fact, we're going to start that next Monday. It's going to be our first remote broadcast, and we're going to see my guy at Dell City. So we're going to go over and see them. And so that's going to be fun to watch them and see what they do in the backgrounds, as well as talk to the coaches and different things, and have some students maybe on air or talking to us as well. So tonight, of course, is Monday Night Football. As usual, we all know who is playing tonight on Monday Night Football. The Ravens and the Saints are tonight. We're wondering if the Saints are going to figure it out or what's going to happen. The Saints are favored by 1.5. The over-under is 46.5. And you remember Drew had already called in and did his picks. And he had picked the Ravens -0.5 in the first quarter. And then, of course, the Ravens 1.5 overall. So that's my guy, Drew. That's what he had picked. In fact, let's go and do our picks. Speaking of Drew, we have not done his picks yet. Here are his picks for tonight. Yeah, he's got the Nets +6.5, the Grizzlies +4, the Pistons -1.5, Suns, wow, Suns -10. Man, Suns are flying right now. What are they, 8-1 or something like that? They are flying. And then in NFL, he's taking the Ravens -0.5 a point in the first quarter, and the Ravens -1.5 for the game. And then you know what tonight starts is really Monday night, big Monday basketball. He's got Oregon State -1.5, UT Arlington +21.5. Man, wow, +21.5. Wow, that's a lot. His boys in North Carolina, Tar Heels, I'm sure he'll be all fired up about that. -23. UTEP +21. South Dakota, man, he's giving y'all all kinds of some love for all the different picks. +12. Of course, Sam Houston, +15. University of Nebraska, shocking Omaha. He had to throw that in there because remember he was in Omaha for 12 to 14 years. +32.5. Michigan State -21, and Nova in there at -15. Huh. Yeah, we didn't have Drew on. Drew's not coming. I asked him if he was going to be on today, and he said no, he couldn't make it. Like I said, he's all playing golf with Mac McBride, but of course we've got his stuff. He sent it in to me so that we still could talk about that and give you guys your picks from his HuskerDrewPicks.com. So if you want to go and check out his other stuff, it's www.HuskerDrewPicks.com. You can do that. So now college football scores this week. Man, what a bunch of games it was. Tennessee just got murdered by Georgia, 27-13. Remember, they were ranked number 1. They're number 5 now in the college football rankings, which they won't be. Tomorrow night is that. So every Wednesday, we will have the college football playoff rankings every Wednesday. But anyway, in the AP, Georgia took care of Tennessee's 27-13. Alabama lost to LSU, and what a great game that was. Brian Kelly going for 2 at home at the end to beat Alabama. What a great game that was. Great call, too. By the way, unlike Texas A&M, couldn't figure it out. Except they ran almost the exact same play, except they ran it properly. Texas A&M did not, beating Alabama 32-31. And, of course, our Oklahoma State Cowboys, they're just a shell of themselves. Spencer Sanders hurt, missing 8 starters. They are dumpster fire right now, losing to KU 37-16. Wake Forest losing to North Carolina State. I had never been a fan of Wake Forest. I've been saying that all year long, how I was not a fan of theirs, but everybody liked them for whatever reason. I don't know, but I did not anyway. North Carolina State, ranked 17th now, beat Wake Forest, knocking them out of the rankings 30-21. Liberty, man, I tell you what, I've liked them. They went up and they beat Arkansas 21-19. And, this Liberty team, I said, hey, Freeze got them playing. Hugh Freeze's got those guys playing. Uh, they went to Arkansas, which is not an easy place to play, and got the W. So congratulations to them going to a Power Five school in the SEC on the road and handling the business. Now you look at Texas now back in the top 25, top 20, ranked 18th, beating Kansas State at Kansas State 34-27, and we're up 31-10. And then once again, they have their second half woes for whatever reason. Their defense cannot keep leads. I don't know what it is, and offensively, I don't know if they go into some sort of, oh, we have this already, and just forget how to play or what. Clemson, uh, losing to Notre Dame, and I was never a Clemson fan. And DJ Igualele, I wasn't a fan of his, even though he's ranked as one of the top quarterbacks. I just was not a fan of his. Haven't been all year, but he is ranked as one of the top uh, 6, 7 quarterbacks coming out of the draft this year. But anyway, Notre Dame just hit him in the mouth and kept hitting him in the mouth and kept hitting him in the mouth and just spanked him 35-14. So they've got the ship rightened over there. And in Michigan State, I wondered how they would come back and respond after that fight and the nonsense that happened in the Michigan game. The fight in the tunnel afterwards, and those 4 guys get suspended, but they came back and beat Illinois 23-15. So you got to take your hat off to the coaching staff there at Michigan State for them doing what they needed to do to right the ship, to get everybody back on page, to get over that, to get them back focused too, because they were asking, having to deal with questions all week long about the fight. So anyway, I'm proud of those young men that they were able to fight back, and the coaching staff getting them where they needed to be in order for them to win the game. So that was pretty impressive by the Michigan State coaching staff. And anyway, I was excited about that. Now remember, the Thunder are playing tonight at Denver, and then we have a home game. Let me pull up the Thunder schedule for all you Thunder fans. Uh, I know we play Wednesday, because tomorrow there are no games. Tomorrow simply because everybody's going to be voting. So the NBA is really big on voting, and they do not want their fans or the fans of the NBA not to be able to vote and have to be into the games. Plus, the game start at 7, so the polls close. So you don't want to have any conflicts in there, which I very thankful for the NBA and them wanting to do that. But when you look at the schedule, we play the Bucks on Wednesday here, and you get to see the big fella. I don't know where Antetokounmpo is going to play, but we just played them the other night, and they just got open look after open look after open look. So we need to do something with that. We just lost to them Saturday night, and Grayson Allen just absolutely murdered us, which is crazy. I just don't know how that happened. Anyway, we played Milwaukee. We played Detroit tonight. Played Milwaukee Wednesday. I don't know if I really like how you turn around and you play somebody, and 2 or 3 days later you play them again, or the next day. I don't. I know the NBA is trying to cut down on scheduling, and all these road trips, but I don't really like the way that that's set up like that. I don't like it. But anyway, hopefully everybody be there. Then of course we have Toronto on Friday night, home game against Toronto, and once again, Siakam, as I had talked about in the NBA news earlier, he'll be missing a couple of weeks, and he will not be here. Their all-star forward from there. He's just been, what a find he was for them to be able to get that young man, and he's just gotten better and better and better. And Siakam, he's a really, really, really good player. And then of course we have this Sunday. After that, we have to travel to New York, to Boston, to Washington, and to Memphis. What a road game that's going to be. What a 4-game road trip, and we'll talk in depth about those and what I feel we can do with that. But man, at New York on Sunday, then turn around and go to Boston right after that, back-to-back nights, then play at Washington, which is a winnable game for us. Actually, the Knicks game is a winnable game for us as well. And then listen to my girl Maya Long talking about Poku. She just does that to irritate me, but he has to do good this year, just like Maya said, that Poku, and he's up and down. One game he's good, one game he's not. So between him and Basley. But anyway, tonight, Detroit Pistons on the road at Detroit. Then we come home Wednesday and Friday for the Bucks and Toronto. So the Raptors. So I keep talking about this. People, come watch the Thunder play. They're young. They need your help. They're young guys. They need people to support. They need us to support them, to have them come out and be on their side and help them get a W. Okay? So let's go. Support the team. Do what you got to do to come out Wednesday night, and of course be watching them tonight on Bally's. And like I said, depending on how well I feel, I don't know if I'm going to do the show tonight. If I don't, I'll probably just try to do it in the morning before we do, before 2 o'clock, and we do this current show, The Unpopular Hour. So, but remember, you can go to YouTube, search The Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark, subscribe, like, hit the notification button, and it'll be on every time. And then also, if you want to join in on the Thunder and watch what I talk about after Thunder games, called After the Storm / OKC Thunder. So you search After the Storm - OKC Thunder or The Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark. It'll pop up. Subscribe, like, hit notifications one time, and then every time it's on, you'll be able to do that. And then hopefully you will like the show. And like I said, in the next week or so, you will be able to call in and give your opinions or ask me questions or whatever it is that you want to do. And I think that's going to be very helpful with the show continuing to grow. But like I said, I'm feeling like crap right now. And I want to thank all you guys for your support and the text message. In fact, I've got a couple text messages from people. And thank you for checking on me, and your prayers are wanted and noted. So thank you for that. So everybody be safe out there. Try to stay warm and take care of yourself, okay? And remember, go Thunder tonight.